Hi. Um, Hello. Sorry, I just need to get calibrated to petting my cat. Okay. Hello. Thank you for joining me. Um, in case you missed yesterday's stream, I talked a little bit about how I was going to, uh, ugh, spend a little more time working on the game outside of the stream, so that way I can sort of muscle through it to get on with other things in my life. So, yes, Nelly? Oh my god, my cat is, as always, driving me crazy. So, that being said, I worked on it a bit last night. I just want to go over that real quick. Whoops. And then we're just going to get right to it. So, do not. I don't even know what that is. Oh, yeah. I do kind of want to address that. So I spent a little bit of time trying to. Let me show you in the game itself, actually. So things work well, but it's just a little weird if it like hits the very side of the paddle. So I wanted to try tweaking that a little bit, and I did some experiments that were kind of unsuccessful. They didn't really fix the issue that I had about how weird it looks. And so I just got rid of that from my to-do list. I still kind of maybe want to tweak it a little bit, but we'll see. I fixed a bug that I introduced yesterday when I introduced sort of stage transitions where I wasn't properly clearing the OAM, so you're just seeing the ball and the paddle in their old position during the screen transition. So I fixed that. And that was easy. That was just a matter of a couple of things. One, I split out the code to clear out the OAM from the initialization routine. So I could call it, and then I just call it during the screen transition. And the other thing I did was the ball was speeding up way, way, way too quickly. So I wanted to fix that, and I did fix that. The problem is that I noticed that in doing so, it's hard to exactly simulate it, but I did notice that in doing so, adjusting the ball speed, the ball has this weird behavior where it sort of goes, it starts at a certain speed and then it slows down a little bit and then it speeds up again. I don't really know what's causing that. I've got some hunches. I've got some hunches, but yeah, I'm just not really sure. I also think there might be some sort of issue with the spin that I do, but I don't know, the physics just still feel kind of off. But given what I sort of talked about yesterday, how I'm just kind of trying to finish this off, get this into a decent enough state and finish it off. This isn't a polished commercial product or anything like that, so if there's still some bugs or issues, I probably am just going to leave them at this point. The physics definitely don't feel quite right. Anyways, one moment. Excuse me. Anyways, but I did just adjust the ball speed down. If I can fix the physics up more later. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out exactly what was causing this sort of weird behavior where it feels like the ball sort of starts to slow down after the first few bounces. Like it's clearly going slower than when I first launched the ball, I think. But then it does eventually speed up. So I don't know. It speeds up really quickly sometimes. Things are weird. Things about the physics are weird, but I only want to spend so much time working on this, so I think I'm just going to leave it as is for now, unless something really obvious hits me. Maybe I'll look at the spin code and see if I'm doing anything obviously wrong in the spin code. Anyways, so that all being said, today what I want to work on is, well, a big thing that I want to do is when you break a brick, I want there to be kind of like a shower of crumbs, for lack of a better word, fragments of brick falling down. That's an angle thing there, like, which is not great. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. Not important. That's. Ugh. Oh well. So anyways, I want there to be, when you break a brick, I want there to be like a shower of crumbs that falls down. And I'm not going to do that today, only because, well, there's some prep work for that I want to do that I haven't done yet. I'll do that tonight. Instead, I'm going to do sort of another kind of prep work, which is, so we can't see this in this level, but in the next level and in the level after that, there are bricks which they don't get destroyed when you hit them. There's bricks which are indestructible. There's bricks which are destructible, but you need to hit them twice. And all I want to do is add a little flash for when you hit them. So, and the way that I'm going to do that is just by drawing a sprite over top of them for a few frames. And that is actually going to be kind of similar to what I do with when I've got the crumbs falling down from the bricks that are breaking. So the work that we do today is going to be transferable into what we're going to do tomorrow, which is where we add that shower of crumbs. So that is what we're doing today. We're adding a little flash. So the first thing we can do is go over to my list of stages and put level 1 for level 0. I don't need these comments anymore. Either way, huh? It's very, very obvious what these are. So let's build. Let me reload the ROM. So yeah. So these bricks are all indestructible. Adjust that spin code. Definitely not doing what I want to do. Anyways, those bricks are all indestructible, so I'm going to have it so that when you hit one of them, it flashes, it flickers. So let's go over to the collide code. I believe it is this indestructible brick handler. So I've got this replace brick at ball procedure, so I'm going to do something kind of similar to it. It's going to have the double brick handler. So I'm going to do, sorry, not double brick. Okay, and that's going to call for having a separate routine here. This is going to call flash brick at ball. Okay. So all I did there is because this is what's called when you hit the ball sort of by moving upwards or downwards, and this is what's called when you hit the brick. Sorry, when you hit the brick, moving left or right. And the reason why we have those two different routines is that we can bounce the ball in a different way. So So what I did was I consolidated the shared code. Because previously there was just this speed up ball that was called by both of them. So just because there's only one line of shared code, I just had it in both. But now that we've got two different lines of shared code, I put it in a separate thing. I'm going to go to where replace brick at ball is at. I'm going to kind of do something, just try to copy and paste it as much as possible, depending. The logic is going to be slightly different because this is redrawing the tile map and is actually like changing things about the stage data, whereas Flash Brick at Ball is just drawing a sprite. Okay, so so what we are going to want to do is a few things. Okay, so let me open up the debugger. Let me pop open VRAM. So I'm just trying to think. I think rather than try to reuse any of the existing tile data by putting it in this chunk of VRAM is for sprites only. This chunk is for either sprites or tile data. The only reason why we've got the font in here is because this chunk of VRAM is completely occupied by the bricks that we use for the background. So, but this chunk of VRAM here can be used by either sprites or background tiles. I think I'm just gonna stick my Flash sprite over here. And that's like super easy. So let me just go over to sprites.asm, ball tile data. And again, I'm just going to draw it right in the assembler because it's very simple. Mouse is acting up. I think we need to get a new mouse. This one lasted me a good long while, but I hate buying new things. It just feels like, especially things when I'm in a situation where something kind of works. I hate buying new things because it's like, oh well, it kind of works. Do I really need to replace it? I'm just gonna copy and paste. And it's like, yeah, I kind of do because it's really annoying when my mouse is jumping around. But anywho, oh, and I should load that as well. Load sprite graphics. I'm going to split this up a little bit. Oh, just because this one procedure is starting to get a little bit large. But whoops. That way I can just call that loop instead of having loop 1, 2, 3. And network is dropping a lot of frames. 2. God, things are just falling apart around here. And I could just sort of line up the data. Actually, why would I put the brick over here? I can put the brick up here. Even better. Anyways, I could just line up the data, like have the Flash graphic right after the paddle data and load it all in one loop. Since I'm going to put the Flash graphic right over here, but it's really not important. just something to be said for keeping things kind of modular and whatever. So the ball tile, or sorry, yeah, this all stays the same, and then it's the flash graphic that I have to move. Hello, how's it going? Thank you for tuning in. Let me know if you've got any questions or anything like that. Need need catching up, an explanation of what the heck I'm doing. So luckily I can just probably copy and paste this pretty easily. Oh, wow, you're from Brazil? That's awesome. How's it? Brazil is a few hours ahead, right? It's like early evening over there. I'm out on the west coast of Canada, so it's just early afternoon here. Flash tile data. So I'm going to just move that tile data right over here to 8020. And that is 16 bytes as well. Easy. So we're going to copy that in. And then I'm just going to right now act as though I have exactly one flashing brick. And there's going to come a time, probably, when I'm going to want it for it to be possible to have multiple flashing bricks. But for now, I'm just going to assume that I've got one. So I'm just going to stick this over here, flash brick X, this one. We're going to treat this the same way we treat the other sprites, where I'm going to have these setup OAMs, setup flash OAM. Setup. Any of these in here? Then not. Oh well. I'll steal this from the ball actually, because it should be pretty straightforward. It's only going to get more complicated if I start to have multiple flashing bricks, but. And we're just going to use, I guess this is a good OAM slot to use over here, because these are already used by the ball of house. We'll just use this one. So that's at 4, 8, 12, 16. Plus 4 skips the first. 12, 8 skips the second. 12. Okay, yeah. So we're just going to shadow AM plus 16. And we're just going to get flash brick Y, flash brick X, and then flash tile. Flash tile, I'll just define it over here. That is just tile number 2. Easy. So that'll do that. Oh, and then the other thing we need is to have this flash timer. Set to DS1. So I guess what I'll do is just add another piercing here, calling it flash. I'll write it over here. And I'm just just going to put this somewhere dumb, like off screen. So it should be at -8. We'll put it off screen for the flash break X. -16, we'll put it off screen on the Y axis. And I'm going to set the flash timer to 0. And then I need into, like, I believe the routine's just called, I guess probably do playing. Flash. Put this over here. Flash. What we're going to do here is just check to see. Actually, no. If the flash timer is already 0, then we don't want to do anything. So we're just going to return if it's 0. If it's not 0, we're going to not sure if it matters. I'm going to decrement it. And right, and we're going to decrement it, and then if that turned out to be 0, then we need to do some other stuff. Otherwise, we're just going to keep it where it is. So if decrementing it turned the timer to 0, that means that we want to clear the flash timer. So all we have to do, I'll actually write it like this. I'll say call 0 and hit flash. Just reset it, and that'll put it off screen again, and then we return. So that is the update routine. So now the only thing that we have to do is actually to set up the flash as is appropriate for when you hit the flash breakout ball. This is what we need to do. So the first part is easy. Wait a second. The hard part is positioning it. Basically, we want to take the ball's position and then sort of tweak it a little bit so that it'll line up with whatever brick is currently being hit. So this is what's going to be sort of the tricky part. Like, I'll show you what happens. I'm going to make this, I'm going to do this the dumb way, and then we're going to work from there. So we're going to get just place it exactly where the ball is. And this is a stalling tactic because I don't exactly, like, I've got a rough idea of what's going to be involved in it, but I don't have it like exactly in my brain, so I'm just stalling a little bit. Okay, so let's see actually how well this works right now. So, well, it flashes for a little too long anyways. And yeah, you can see it's just slightly not in the right place. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to maybe cut this in half, see if that looks a little bit better for one thing. So I just want it to be like kind of a very brief flicker, you know? And it's especially going to be good when there's sound effects, because you know it'll make a little plonk noise or something like that. Oh yeah, like that's better. But now I just need to get it to line up properly. So the X position is going to be very similar, but what we're going to do is we're going to just like, if the ball is at 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, and like let's imagine the left side of this brick is 0. Now that's not totally accurate, but it's close enough to accurate. If the ball is anywhere along this, we just want to round it down to 0. So we just want to cut out anything less than 8. Anything less than 8 is going to be stored in the lower 3 bits of the number. So like, I'm sorry, like that's 8. So this shows you how many, this is 9, this is 12, like 11, whatever. It's 11. Like these 3 bits here show what you have added to like sort of the 8 base, so to speak. So all we have to do to get this is so I'm going to write this as, to get what we want is we want to mask out everything besides these lower 3 bits. So that is going to be F8. That should get us lined up along the x-axis, I think. Let's find out. I might actually want to slow it down again so I can more easily see, but like that feels like it should be right to me. And it looks right to me. Oh, that didn't look right to me. It looked right to me until it bounced off the sides there. Or there, for that matter. Still not quite right, huh? Oh, possibly because, no, I don't think that would be why. I'll look at those corner cases in a second. Similar logic for the Y position, except that it's, because the bricks are 4 pixels tall, we want to do the same thing, but this time for it's just the bottom 2 bits that we want to mask off. So that is what? That is 4, that's A is 12, 12 is C, so that's FC. So this should get us pretty close, except for what looks like to be some kind of, I don't want to say rounding errors, but places where I just... Oh, that's why. I got it. I'll explain why in a sec. I just want to see this in action. The reason why this doesn't work is that ball X and ball Y are based on the top left of the ball's tile, whereas the collision detection is based on the center of the ball. So all I want to do is take this and we're going to add 4. And that should do it, because the center of the ball is 4, 4 again. So let me try this. So if we do it based on the center of the ball, we should get what we want. Yeah, you can see it there. Oh wow, yeah, that's really good. That is exactly what I want. And the only problem with this is that if you start to hit, and I can probably simulate this actually if I could get the ball inside that inside the net, so to speak. Oh no, no, come on, come on. I should make a testing level for this. The only problem with this right now is that there's only 1. So there may be situations, I don't actually know if it's worth trying to work out. Like maybe I should just have the 1. Maybe I'll just have the 1, and then that keeps everything nice and simple. I think I'm going to do that. I'm not going to bother. I was going to say, like, if you're like bouncing back and forth between like 8 different bricks that are like this, we only have 1 flash, so the flashes will get cut short. But I don't think I care, and it'll be annoying and difficult to, like, not terribly difficult, but annoyingly difficult to make a bunch. So let me maybe just keep this. Keep it like this. Cool. I feel good about that. So let me commit that. It's like completely unimportant, but I don't like, and I really should just get around to configuring my editor to fixing this for me, but I don't like it. Where was it? When I've got this like unnecessary white space. So yeah, there we go. There we go. Oh, and I don't want to commit that. I want to put my levels back in the proper order. And I want to do the same thing for the double bricks that I have. So let me do a couple of things. Let me first of all make that happen, and that should be really straightforward if everything works according to plan. Hi Nellie. 3, 2, 1. Oh baby. Oh, sad noise. I'm sorry. I did my best to be gentle. Oh, Nellie, I love you. I'm just gonna take a break while I pet my cat. It's the double brick handler that I want to go to. Right. I'm just gonna call flash brick ball. Yeah. Oh, baby. Flash brick ball. But now I need a level for it. So I guess it's about time I make level 3. So let me pop open tile add. File new map. Believe this is all correct. Level 2. Let's get a stamp going. So I guess for this level, what we're going to do is we're going to whoops. I think I want something like this, but I don't exactly know if this is what I want. I think I want something like this. And that's good enough. Export, and that's going to be a bust free level. It's going to be level 2.bustfree, easy. And then I'm going to include that level stage. I'm going to put it first to make it easier to test. Oh, Nelly. God. What a good cat. What a good cat. Just going to put this first to make it easiest to test in lieu of having any kind of like level select code or whatever. We built. I'm going to hit reload. I'm going to hit run. There's our level. Yeah, you can see we got the flash going now as well. Yeah, that looks great. That is exactly what I wanted. Awesome. So, okay, cool. What to do? What to do? Well, let's save these changes. I'm going to move this here. Also flash double bricks. And get add level 2 dot level, get add level 2 dot max, get add stage. What next? I suppose I could get started on the effect that I want to go for when you break a regular brick. I can get started on that anyways. So let me just talk very briefly about why I say I'll get started on that rather than I will do that. I'm not sure if I've got any good examples of this that I can think of off the top of my head to show you. Like I'm sure there's other games that use this exact same effect, but the problem is I want it so that you hit a brick and there's going to be some things that fly off. And I want them to have like vaguely realistic projectile physics. I want them to sort of like shoot off in a curve, kind of, I don't know, with like realistic projectile physics, you know? And of course the Game Boy has less processing power than a toaster, like a modern toaster, like I'm not exaggerating. So I don't actually want to be calculating realistic physics for a bunch of for like some particle effects on the Game Boy CPU. That's not sensible. You can like maybe do, if you're inclined to, reasonable enough physics for an object, like your player character, because that would be worthwhile if it really helps the game feel. It doesn't make sense to do it for some particles. So, especially not when I might have like something like, I don't know, 16 particles going at any given time, which I think is a reasonable max for about 4 bricks at any moment. So, sorry, long winding story. So what I'm going to do instead is pre-calculate the displacement that we provide to each particle. So that way it's as simple as like looking up in a table what the next move should be. And in order to generate that, I'm going to want to create a little, what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to probably open up, I don't know, Unity or Pygame or something, and have it spit those numbers, generate a method to have it spit those numbers out, you know? And then I'll just copy it into the game. So I just want to get that sort of set up, like figure out exactly how I'm going to do that before I do that on the stream. So that's why I'm hesitant to get started on it. But I can at the very least like start to get the infrastructure in place, so that way once I've got the actual numbers in, it's easy, you know. Yeah, exactly. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna be right back, and then I'm going to do that. I'll do that. So, BRB. All right, I'm back. I'm here to do the thing I just said I was going to do, which is start to add particle effects. So let's go over to game. Sort of, there's a case to be made. I should move, say, the flash stuff into a different module. As simple as it is. I won't though. We gotta bust through. We gotta get this done. So how this works is I'm gonna have a maximum of 4 particles. Each of those particles has, 4 sort of effects, and each of those effects has 4 particles. So I'm just trying to decide whether I should do this all at once or whether I should like do my whole thing where I do it for just one and then expand it. Effect timer DS1. Let's do that. So we've got one, we'll say we have one effect and one particle, and then I'm going to expand it so that the effect has 4 particles, and then I'm going to expand it so there's 4 effects. And we'll just start doing that. We'll start with this. I'm just gonna honestly, right now it's just gonna look a whole lot like this flash code. And we're gonna expand it from there. Like so much like this flash code that I'm just gonna copy and paste and be like, to do. Move the particle. I'm just gonna search for every instance of flash and effect is such a bad name, but I don't really know what is a better one off the top of my head. Like particle effect, but that's such a mouthful. So it's way too far out. This should just be here. Oh. Selection. No. You also should have a keyboard shortcut for switching between. Effects. Timer. Yeah, just keep searching for flash. Flash break a ball. I don't want to copy that per se. And I will have like a setup. So we're just gonna once again allocate. Like that's the effect. And now we're gonna allocate all of these, but to the particles. Oops. Y and then X. And I guess, for lack of a better place for it, the particle can go in there in slot 3. So that's not interesting. And I also definitely missing wherever we call setup flash up. We need to call setup ORM. So then I need to rename this. So yeah, this is where I have to do some stuff. It's pretty straightforward for now. Because right now I'm just going to have them fire off. Like, I just have one particle right now, so it's just going to fire off to the top left, which I need to. I'll just decrement it. So what I'll do instead, actually, I was going to do that here, but I'm just going to jump here to init effects. That way, this code doesn't run if the timer has run out. Okay, so that should do all that. I guess the only other thing I need to do is I need to go back over to sprites. Oh, there's a couple other things I need to do, of course. I need to have a sprite for it. And then, of course, I need to actually start the particle effect up when you break a brick. So all this is going to be is we're just going to be like, I'm going to do something like that. Like, it's just going to be a little tiny little thing. Even this is probably too big. In fact, let me, instead of putting it in the center of the thing, I'm just going to put it up here. It's just going to be like 3, 3, 3, 2. Tiny little thing. And we're going to load that in. Load particle effects. Not basically the same. Easy peasy. Particle file data. And it's going to go in at 8030. Man, I love diet soda. Maybe the greatest invention of all time. I'm going to be riddled with cancer by the time I'm like 40, but whatever, worth that. And then finally, we're going to go over into Collide with this normal brick handler. I guess on brick destroyed? Okay, what happens in there? Increment score, bricks broken, start next level. Start effect at ball. I'm just going to set this up. We're going to do this for half a second. Ball X and ball Y will actually provide a very reasonable base for the top left particle, I think. This doesn't need to line up with anything, so this is probably fine. Let's say y plus 1. That should do it. Of course, this is going to look terrible, but that's okay. We're just getting started. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted. I wonder if I even need multiple effects, honestly. I guess we'll have to see. Guess we'll have to see. So we're going to start from there, and I'm going to keep going. Let's add multiple effects. Particle X's, particle Y's. So this is there might be something to be said for only having a single effect. We'll see. We will see. I definitely want multiple particles, though. And rather than try to only use one variable to track them. It also didn't. It looked surprisingly not terrible, just having it shoot off rather than using like a real falling animation. So I'm starting to wonder if maybe I can just make this a little simpler and call it a day. I definitely want 4 though. So particle X. So what if I'm going to take this out, just put this into a different thing called, I can get rid of that to do. Update particles. Line those up. You know, there's probably easier ways to do this, but I don't think I'm going to bother with an easy way to do this. So I'm just going to do every particle manually. Top left. I might do this try a little bit to be efficient. Not a lot to be efficient, but a little bit to be efficient. So we're going to get the top left. I'm going to decrement it twice. So I might as well just sub 2. And then we're going to load it back again. Yeah, okay. Update particle X's. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Oh god. Top left, okay. Top right. So the top right, we want it to go to the right, so we're going to add 2 to it. Yep, perfect. The bottom left. We want it to go to the left, so we're going to sub 2 again. Load that in. Bottom right. We're going to add again because we're making it go to the right. That's it. And then we're going to have to do something similar for our update particle wise. It's going to be very, very similar to this. It's just, obviously it's going to be slightly different because, so this we still want it to go subtract because we're going to the up, but then top right, in this case, instead of adding, we're going to make subtract because we want it to go to up as well. Sub 2. Oh God. Bottom left, and then these 2 we're going to add. So I'm going to just copy and paste that. There we go. And then update particle. Update particles, easy, we just call update particle x's. Call update particle y's. We're done. What next? I guess I should just search for particle x again. Yeah, because when we initialize it, call particles. And we just do a very similar pattern for initializing particles. And then we're going to have one routine which called init particle x's and init particle y's. And they're both going to be very straightforward. Particle x's. All we're going to do is load A with -8, load B with particles per effect. Loop. Load HI with particle x's. Load HLI with A. B. Easy. And then something very similar. Whoops, I don't know. Oh. Get out of column selection mode. Just get that in there. Paste that in. There we go. Beautiful. And then y's is similar, except we just have to set them to -16 to get them off screen. Stupid mouse. And then, is there anywhere else we've got particle x? Start effective ball. Yeah, we need to initialize these. I'm going to put them all at the same place. Whoops. Start particles at ball. I know I could tail call that if I moved that to the end. It's okay. These are going to work super similar to those init loops. And I'm just going to start them all at the exact same place. They're all just going to shoot off from the ball. So all we do is we get ball x +1. That's the ball's pixel position. load B, particles per effect, load HL, particle X's, loop. All just the exact same. I think that's, no, where is it? 451. Oh, let me just search for it. Particle X. Yeah, setup effective AM. And that's an easy fix, though. Okay, that's those two, and then I have to set up the effective AM. So this is, we do start there, but we're going to have a loop. Particles per effect, loop. Okay, so I'm actually going to instead setup y's class setup particle tile. So we're gonna do something kind of similar here. We're gonna go step through the OAM chunks of 4, copying the right things in for the X's, then the Y's, and then the tiles. So setup particle X's OAM. Shadow OEM plus 20 plus 1. Our destination. Our source is particle X's. Particles per effect is the number of times we have to do this. We're going to have a loop. All we do is we grab the particle X, we copy it into DE, and then we need to do a little bit of math on DE. We're going to get, or E in particular, we're going to get E, add 4 to skip to the next slot, and load that back into E, decrement the jump register, or jump relative not 0 to loop, and we're done. And X's is going to work very, very similar. The Y's is going to work, sorry, very similarly. Difference is, we start there, we use Y's. That's it. Only difference. Tiles is going to be even simpler. So we're going to get, this is going to be +2. And we're going to put, oh, it doesn't actually matter. And we're going to load A with, oh, actually, what I can do is I can use HL for this. This is neat. And I can just, let's do that. That's the nicest way to do it. There we go. So that should be everything. Did that compile? It compiled. Let's see how that looks. Run. Wow, that looks actually weirdly better than I thought it would. Yeah. Why are they moving like that? Like, I don't quite fully. I must have screwed something up about how they move. But I kind of like it. Like, it's not just perfectly symmetrical. I have 2 that are just kind of moving. I want to figure out what's causing them to move the way that they're moving, but kind of like it. So I might keep it as is. Top left, top right. that's the problem. At least a problem. Let me see if that fixes it, how it looks. Kind of like the weird asymmetricness of it before. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep the other one. As weird as that is, like this, that just looked a lot more fun. This is kind of like boring. It's kind of like boom, whatever. Keep the weird bug. There we go. And I don't think I'm going to bother doing anything else, actually. I thought I was going to want to make this a little more intricate, but I'm kind of happy with this. This kind of looks okay as it is. Like I was thinking of doing things where I could have multiple effects, so that way, like when I get the ball in between, you know, I'm going to be hitting things. Like you can. I would like to show it to you, but I'd have to be better at Breakout to do it. Like if you're hitting the ball multiple times against multiple bricks, like sort of in rapid succession, the effects are getting cut off. Which I thought would bother me more than it does. I think this looks fine. So I'm just going to keep this as is and call it. Awesome. Cool. I'd say that was a very successful stream at the end of the day. So we got the bricks exploding, we got them flickering, we got... I gotta get rid of that dumb extra white space. That's on the end of particle data. There we go. Add particle effects. So we've done that. Okay, cool. Yeah, I guess tomorrow we're going to start working on adding some power-ups to spice the game up a little bit. Yeah, we'll take it from there. We're pretty much done. Cool. Thank you very much for watching. The video will be up on YouTube later today. I'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy. I'm out. Bye.